Hi, hello, welcome. I'm Elmo. If you're new here, what's up? Today I'm doing the mid-year freakout tag. I've been away for a little bit because life, but I'm back now and we're doing this because it's halfway through the year. We're halfway through and I'm gonna try to tamper the existential crisis that is brewing in my brain as I make this video. The first question is, what is the best book you've read so far? And I can wholeheartedly say Station 11. Station 11 is the best book I've read so far. It's probably the best book I've read in a while. Like since Fahrenheit, it's the best book I've read. It does dystopia different. It does apocalypse different. It follows the people and the people's connections to one another and their stories. It's a story about people's stories. Enjoy it for what it is, appreciate it for what it is, and you'll be fine. It was a 5-star read again. I probably really need to review my rating system because I think over half of the books I've read this year have been 5 stars. Or maybe I just have great taste, you know? I think that's probably the answer. That is a cobweb. Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. Oh my god, so good. The way it's formatted, it kind of jumps around from character to character and through like 3 distinct different time periods in the book. Not time periods, but like periods of time. And the way that it's done means information is revealed gradually, which really works. It really works. It caught me off guard a couple times. There were a few times where it just absolutely broke me and I just cried. I just like stopped reading and I cried for like 20 minutes, which is good sometimes. Sometimes you need to cry about stuff. It shows you're emotionally healthy when you cry and you don't just repress things for weeks on end. What? Station 11 is good. It's really good. Go read it if you can. Question 2. What is the best sequel you've read so far? I haven't. I've not read a sequel book yet. Unless Circe counts as a sequel, but I've not read Song of Achilles. So maybe on a technicality, can I say that? It'll come up later, but I will read one of my Douglas Adams or one of the Hunger Games books, and that can be the sequel for the year, and that's, you know. But I've not done it yet because I wanted to, I just didn't have the willpower. Question 3. What is a new release you want to read? Won't lie, I'm quite late to the book scene, so I don't know what year books release. I don't think either of these are new. Are you new? Or were you last year? Because I'm pretty sure you were last year, my dude. This book is 5 years old? What? Okay, what about you? You're not 5 years old, are you? You are. You actually are. Oh my god. I don't have any new books because I've been on a book ban. So, yeah. And I also don't keep up with new releases, really. I don't follow authors that much because all of my favourite ones are dead. But new releases, I don't know. Yeah, okay, never mind. Question 4, anticipated releases for later this year. Stephen Fry is publishing his version of the Odyssey in September, I want to say. The next time I get a decent paycheck, I am putting in a pre-order for a signed copy because Stephen Fry. Any other book that I'm like, that's new? I don't think so. Maybe Butter? I have looked at, but I don't know who wrote it. I'll put it wherever. I've seen that around a lot. Question 5. What is the biggest disappointment? No Longer Human. I really wanted to enjoy it. I was so prepared to have my life changed, and then it was just and you can't take that back. It was just the absolute worst. The absolute worst. Wasn't good, wasn't fun. Again, misogyny, not the vibe. I get that a lot of people who read older books say that it's a product of its time and you can appreciate it in that way. To an extent, you can forgive books for that, you know? Like Fahrenheit 451 has, you know, at the start, the like manic pixie dream girl trope. But then she disappears and you never see her again. It's like, oh, this is a bigger thing of the government. I can forgive it for that. I could not forgive whatever this was. So that's just, it's not It's not on my shelf anymore. It's in a box in the corner where it belongs, and it's just not the one for me. You might really enjoy it. You might be able to forgive it and be like, ah, yes, I can view this objectively and have no qualms whatsoever about the behavior of the protagonist, but I don't know. I'm just cool like that, I guess. I get a lot of my book recs off Pinterest of the just like a million covers in a big square, and there was like a thing with 6 different books on it, and like half of the ones are ones I really enjoyed, and then that was on it. So I thought it'd be good, and then I hated it. Hit and a miss there. Number 6, what was the biggest surprise? The one I think I was surprised most by was probably Strong Female Character by Fern Brady. Borrowed it from the library, so you're not seeing it, but I'm not the biggest fan of non-fiction. I will read it, I will attempt to enjoy it, but I'm usually very slow going. I'll read a single part and then forget about it. You know, when my brain is like, oh, a new fact, I can shoehorn this into a conversation, and then I do, then I feel like the book has served me. I don't need it anymore. But with Strong Female Character, I finished it in 3 days. I read half of it in the first day, and the other 2 I was like busy for most of them, but I was just hooked. Teeth sunk in, claws just digging into flesh. I was like, give me more pages, give me more footnotes. Like, this is what I needed in my life for the past 8 years. I was enthralled. For me, it was kind of life-changing, purely for the fact that it made my life sound normal and my lived experiences sound normal. The autistic experience doesn't lend itself to that very often, so that was nice. Just the camaraderie you can get in a book that describes an experience that you have that is not really normal, it's not, you know, a majority experience, and one that can be so subjective and is so different from person to person. To have someone else's story line up with yours in so many aspects is just like, losing my mind. Absolutely loved it. Number 7, who is your new favourite author? Suzanne Collins. I know I've only read the first Hunger Games book, I have not read the rest, but boy, does she know how to write female protagonists that make sense. Suzanne Collins, what a lad. I'm currently reading Ariadne by Jennifer Saint, and I gotta say, I prefer Jennifer Saint to Madeline Miller. I don't know where that lies on the Greek mythology retelling continuum, but are you a Madeline Miller stan, or are you a Jennifer Saint girly? Like, let me know. I think I would read literally anything Madeline Miller wrote. I've still got some of Achilles to read, and then Jennifer Saint, I think Medea, Hera, one of her new ones. There's a bunch. I would read them all. Question 8. Newest fictional crush. My Aero Ace ass cannot provide a concrete answer for this, so I still wanted to answer the question. So, my favourite fictional couple, okay? Katniss and Peter. I know, gay old stans, calm down. It makes the most sense. Trauma bonding. Just the first point, trauma bonding. Also, they do genuinely they're kind of forced to care about each other because of where they are, but they do genuinely care about each other, and that sells it for me, and that's what you get. Question 9, newest favourite character. Katniss again, right? She's just badass. She is very cool. I wish I had read more, but I've read 9 books so far this year, and I'm currently reading 12. Literally just a chapter of each in the cycle, which is not how you should read first on. Don't do that. Newest favourite character would probably be Katniss again, because very cool, very level-headed, very logical, very forgotten the word. Question 10, books that made me cry. Get prepared. Station 11 made me cry 4 times, and the 4th time was when I finished the book because I was sad that it ended. The implication of what might happen to some of the characters, I was like, oh my god, no. So that was rough. Brave New World, I think I cried when I finished it. Just that final sentence. It talks in compass points, and it talks about turning on the compass point. That probably doesn't sound like a shock value thing that would make you cry, but if you read that book, you'll know what I mean. Also, The Hunger Games. I cried at The Hunger Games. I think I cried twice in The Hunger Games. There's one part in The Hunger Games that a lot of people just kind of cried to, and I didn't cry at that bit. I cried at the bit afterwards where people send Katniss bread. That's the bit where I cried. Not at the death of children, but at the cost of the people sending bread. Question 11. Books that made you happy. This is a tough one for hopefully obvious reasons. I don't read many happy books. So these answers are going to sound weird when you first hear them, but wait until I explain and then you'll get it. Ray Bradbury's Killer Come Back to Me. It is a collection of crime short stories. It made me happy because I was finally reading a Bradbury again and I felt solidified in the fact that I talk about him constantly because the writing is just the most beautiful thing I've ever read, even about dark subjects. Solid guy. A strong female character. Made me happy because I felt seen and understood, and that doesn't happen very often, so that was vibes. This one's gonna sound weird. Hold up. Yellow Wallpaper. It made me happy to find something so brilliantly written and to find what I believe is probably the best example of short story writing I've ever seen. That was great, and I've read it like 3 times and I will probably read it again because it's so good. Question 12. Most beautiful book bought or received this year. I've got 2 contenders. Give the golden goose a gander. Oh my god. I just like yeeted the book at my iPad. Anyway, this is Ocean Vuong's On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous. Look at that book cover though. Oh, it's so pretty. This is Sarah Underwood's Lies We Sing to the Sea, and it's so heckin' shiny. It's about Ithaca. It's about people, I think it's about people escaping from Ithaca. So I don't know if it's an actual retelling or if it's kind of like set in the world of Greek mythology. It's a story kind of in that setting, just for future reference. Shiny books are the way to my heart and I will love and cherish them for the rest of my life. Question 13. Books I need to read before the end of the year. I was re-watching my reading goals video earlier and I've read a couple on that list already, and I was looking at the rest of the list and I was like, I'm not gonna finish that for this year. I have come to the realisation that the Odyssey will probably be a next year's job. I'm glad my mum died. I do not think I will finish this year. The Pages, I picked it up to try and finish it for like another abandoned books thing and I just did not. I think I read like 2 pages and then put it back. Horns I would love to read. If I can manage to read Horns this year, I will be very pleased. It's bigger than most books I read, so I am kind of worried that I won't finish it. If I do, then I've read Horns and I can see if Joe Hill is the kind of writer I want to read. I'd love to read My Year of Rest and Relaxation. I would love to read this as well. I think this and At Night All Blood is Black are ones I think might pair well. I have a lot of books that are just war narratives. I don't know how many I will read before the end of the year because I'm reading my 10th and it's May. If I really go for it, I could double my year goal, so I could do 15. The next abandoned book video is going to be wild, but until then, we've got other stuff to do. I hope you're all doing great. I hope your goals are going okay. We're almost halfway through the year. Even if you've not started yet, you've got ample time. But we're halfway through the year. I've read 9 books out of 10 for the year. How wild is that? I'm feeling very accomplished and a bit smug. Can't lie. I'm very proud of myself. That's it. That's this video. That is the mid-year freak out tag, and quite honestly, I'm not freaking out. I'm pretty proud. I'm pretty happy about it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you when I see you. See ya.